Welcome to another mini painting video. This week my topic is Data and his cat Spot. Data was always my favorite character in Star Trek Next Generation. Something about, the Tin Man of Wizard of Oz, the person trying to be the most human. I just thought a lot of his stories always had a lot of heart, and I always thought the fact that he had a pet, and specifically a pet cat, was quite funny. When I first saw the show, I was very young, and I was pretty allergic to cats. And as the years have gone by, I have built up somewhat of a tolerance, but at the current moment, I am no longer living with any cats, and I kind of was missing the cats for a bit this week, so I decided I would paint something in honor of both my favorite Star Trek character and his pet cat Spot. Brent Spiner, who played Data, said that he really hated working with the cat because the cat never did anything right, and time took a lot longer for takes whenever the cat was supposed to be on screen with him, so he loathed the days when he had to work with the cat. But I thought that the idea of this machine trying to understand humanity by having a pet to be quite fascinating and intriguing. And of course, he wouldn't have a dog because dogs require a lot of love and affection, whereas a cat kind of doesn't really care as long as you feed them and clean their litter box and occasionally entertain them. At least the cats that I have lived with. One thing I did notice when I was working on this was getting Spot's coloring right was a little difficult for me to do. I decided that I wanted the background and everything to be kind of this warm, kind of rose pink tone, very 1980s, 1990s, just kind of that weird antique rose pink, seashell, salmon type colors. Just to kind of counteract, not counteract, but to mirror the very artificial skin tone of Data. And I thought maybe having the pink fleshy tones in the background would be an interesting mix. But getting Spot's coloring at that point was more difficult because he was kind of blending into the background. So I had to do some interesting color choices for the shadows as I was building up the shadow behind them. So that took just a little while longer than expected, but it was fine. I really did want to focus on cats and the cat, so it gave me time to push some of those values a little deeper and choose some interesting colors that I may not have chosen if the background was more of a neutral tone. I thought that my likeness of Brent Spiner's Data was pretty spot on when I drew him. And I liked that pose, this kind of, the only thing that seems alive in this piece is the cat. Data is kind of absent-mindedly staring down at the cat, trying to figure out if he should be feeling something, while the cat looks kind of like, oh, am I getting food? What's going on? I guess I'll just accept being pet by this thing. Very much like a cat in a scratching post, kind of just lounging on some item in a living room. The only difference being this item was his owner, Data. So I'm just now starting to push some darks in Data's uniform and working on the Elcar's panel here on the door. Just little hints of Star Trek bits. Didn't want too much. I wanted this to be a very static image. And I think it turned out pretty well. Just now going in with some more tones for Data's face. This is still a flesh tone, but this is more of just a yellowy, washed out eggshell tone, which I kept out anything that had any pink in Data. He was supposed to be very, almost cold. So I think it turned out very well. I think he came off of that page pretty well, and overall I was very happy and pleased with how fast and perfect this image came out. Just a few scribbles of color to darken his uniform here. And I was really just kind of taken aback by how sometimes how easy sometimes drawings come, and this one just seemed right every mark that I was making. And so I made this drawing video a little bit shorter because of that, because I didn't really have any problems and things went so smoothly that I just wanted to get it out to you guys. So I hope you enjoyed this video. It is a little bit shorter. What do you think of this time scale I've been doing with these new videos? Is 10 minutes, 5 minutes, 8 minutes, 15 minutes? What kind of length would you like to see? Please leave a comment in the comments below or on my Discord server, even if you especially if you have a suggestion for a future mini painting. Thank you for being a Patreon subscriber, and until next week, I will see you then. Thank you very much, and enjoy.